Nigeria is stepping up their fight against terrorism with fresh backing from the Trump administration. The United States has delivered a new shipment of military supplies to Abuja. This is not a handout. It comes as both countries intensify operations against terrorists destabilising Western Africa. What you see here are those supplies being offloaded in Nigeria. The US Africa Command confirmed the delivery in a post on X. The Pentagon has not disclosed what the shipments contain. Washington describes it as support for ongoing security operations and a signal of shared commitment to regional stability in West Africa. The delivery comes just weeks after US airstrikes on Christmas Day in Nigeria's Sokoto state. Abuja says 16 guided missiles fired from Reaper drones hit targets linked to the Islamic State West Africa province. The strikes were carried out at Nigeria's request. Both sides say the operation involved close coordination and real-time intelligence sharing. Abuja has since confirmed that Nigerian jets are using intelligence from US reconnaissance flights to conduct their own strikes. Officials say Nigeria remains open to further US air support if required. But the military cooperation is unfolding alongside a political push in Washington. Reports say Nigerian President Bola Tinubu has hired a Republican-connected US lobbying firm for $9 million. The aim is to shape views in the United States Congress as President Donald Trump weighs further strikes. The firm is tasked with presenting Nigeria's efforts to protect Christian communities and maintain US support in the fight against West African terrorist groups. Critics argue the move is less about operations and more about messaging. They argue public money is being used to shape perception in Washington, even as attacks continue on the ground. Nigeria is Africa's most populous country. It's home to more than 200 ethnic groups and multiple religions. But it has faced years of violence from groups like Boko Haram and the Islamic State West Africa province. These groups destabilise communities, disrupt trade and threaten borders across West Africa. In fact, just days after the US airstrikes, dozens of civilians were reportedly killed and several were abducted in attacks by armed groups on 2 neighbouring villages. The Nigerian government insists the violence does not target a specific religion. Officials say security threats affect both Muslim and Christian communities. But Abuja says it welcomes Trump's support as long as Nigeria's sovereignty is respected.
If you go to Africa, people respect Donald Trump because when it comes to fight against terrorism, he has never minced word. He was never politically correct about it. He's willing to fight it, and that's all we ask for. Leaders that can be very straightforward in that regard and willing to collaborate with you in that fight.
Now, US military support for Nigeria fits into their wider Africa strategy. Washington has provided similar intelligence and security assistance to countries including Ghana, Niger and Kenya. Analysts say, for the United States, this is influence at a relatively low cost. But the competition is intensifying. Russia and China are expanding their presence across Africa through security ties, economic deals and diplomatic outreach. For now, Nigeria's war against terrorism continues on multiple fronts. The latest US delivery reinforces a deepening security partnership. But how far that cooperation goes and how much it shapes Nigeria's long-term security remains an open question.
The world doesn't fit in boxes, so why should your news? From battlefields to negotiation tables, from internet outrage to real-world injustice. The conversations everyone is having and the ones they're avoiding. It's the same show, but this new year, Firstpost America gets a new look. I'm Kerry Johnston, and this is Firstpost America.